How's it going today, guys? My name is JSP, and today we are talking about the Bears as usual, and specifically about if the Bears can turn around their season. And the answer simply is yes. Of course, they can change their season. Yes, they're 1-4 right now, and everyone is bringing up how the Lions turned their season around after starting 1-6. So yes, it is possible. Nothing is set in stone until the fat lady sings. They have been trending in the right direction the last 2 weeks. And my God, that Thursday night football game with the Chiefs and Broncos, it just makes it all the more embarrassing that we lost to that team, especially being up by 21. Russ looked terrible. Sean Payton looked terrible. The defense looked terrible. I mean, to be fair, they did hold the Chiefs to under 20 points. Good for them, but they just couldn't score more than 10 points. They couldn't even score more than the Chiefs. So yes, it's cool that their defense played a little bit better and held the Chiefs to under 20 points, but that offense only scored 8 points. And let me tell you, it just makes it all the more embarrassing that we lost to that team. We should be 2-3. Honestly, we should be 3-2. In all honesty, we should have beat the Buccaneers. There was no way we were beating the Packers. There was no way we were beating the Chiefs. It just was never going to happen. Those were automatic losses. But the other two games, the Broncos and the Buccaneers, were definitely winnable games. And of course, the Bears being the Bears, they screwed them up and it didn't come to play, and we're sitting at 1-4. But we have some winnable games coming up. All right, we have some pretty winnable, very winnable games, actually. We got the Vikings coming up on Sunday without Justin Jefferson, by the way. They have Alexander Mattison, who has been getting a lot of heat ever since Dalvin Cook left. He hasn't been the greatest, and we've actually stopped the run better than we stopped the pass. Now, Kirk Cousins, honestly, against the Bears, hasn't played very well. He has never really played very well. We're not very good against the Vikings, but Justin Fields actually plays well against this Vikings defense, okay? The Vikings defense is nothing to get excited about. It's nothing to talk about, really. Yes, they have some good players, but it's really nothing to get excited over. Like I said, Duke Shelley last year was on the Vikings and was talking a lot of shit to Bears fans because he was awful in Chicago, and for some reason he gets to talk shit when he goes somewhere else and wins. Yeah, no shit, because you're playing against the Bears. Terrible, and you were terrible. So we can talk all the shit in the world because you were terrible on the Bears, but when you go somewhere else, you actually play kind of decent. Even though he is still not kind of decent on the Vikings, or when he was on the Vikings. I don't even know if he's still on the Vikings. I could care the hell less about Duke Shelley, but he got a lot of heat from Bears fans last year because he was talking all this shit about how Chicago was a terrible organization. They have terrible fans. Yes, we rightfully talked shit about you because you were terrible on the Bears. Terrible. Yes, you made a few decent plays, but when you're allowing defenses to throw 100 yards on you and 2 touchdowns, 200 yards on you, 3 touchdowns, yes, we're going to say you're bad. Take some criticism. But anyway, enough about Duke Shelley. Who cares about that dude? They are without Justin Jefferson. I cannot emphasize this enough. We are getting back Kyler Gordon. We are getting back Eddie Jackson. We have Jaquan Brisker. Okay? Terrell Smith, who is unfortunately going to be out, played pretty good. Greg Stroman played pretty good. I think our secondary is going to be a bit better with all of them back. Now, I say this in the nicest way possible. I think Eddie Jackson is not that great. He is not that great. Okay? And this is coming from a Bears fan. I don't know what it is about him. It looks like the effort is just no longer there. The tackling is not there. He is almost, same with Jaquan Brisker. They are just almost never in the right spot. And this could be coaching. This could be play calling, defensive play calling. But every time a receiver goes deep, almost every time, it feels like at least, they're just wide open. And Eddie Jackson, I haven't, it's been a while since I've heard a good play by Eddie Jackson. Like I haven't seen a good play by Eddie Jackson in a while. So everyone's getting excited that Eddie Jackson is coming back. I am really not that excited. Because yes, I like him. I like him as a player. I like him as a human. But it's been a while since we've heard anything good come from Eddie Jackson. No interceptions, no good plays, no good tackles. Like, if you could prove me wrong, please prove me wrong. And same with Jaquan Brisker. He had that really nice interception last year on Mac Jones. But this year, he's kind of proving that it's not hard to pick off Mac Jones. Like, it's not. So, I mean, Jaquan Brisker is still young, and he still has a lot to learn. But, man, do they pick up yards through the air. The opposite team. It doesn't matter who the opposite team is. Baker Mayfield, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson. They throw all over us. This secondary is not as good as I thought coming into the season. It's not. Okay? And Tyreek Stevenson, I know he's a rookie, so I'm going to give him some leeway. But, man, he's made a few good plays. Like, at least I've heard his name a few times this season rather than Eddie Jackson, where, like, I never hear his name during the game. Almost never. So, I'm excited to get him back. I'm more excited about Kyler Gordon, honestly. I'm more excited about Kyler Gordon in the nickel. And yeah, I mean, our defense has been performing better. It did last week against the Commanders. But again, don't get your hopes up, Bears fans, because Sam Howell is the most sacked quarterback in the league. Okay, we got 5 sacks, which was actually pretty impressive to me. I didn't think we would get 5. I thought we would maybe get 2 or 3. We got 5 sacks on him, and he's technically a rookie quarterback. He's not really, but this is kind of his first year as a starter, and he still threw all over us. He still did. He still played pretty freaking good. We stopped the run for the most part. Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson did break out for a few runs, but it wasn't like anything of a big deal. But when it meant the most, when we needed stops on third down, when we needed a sack on third down, we would not get pressure. We couldn't stop him in the secondary. Like, it just, third down is still a big issue for this Bears defense. Still, getting pressure, again, is still a big issue, okay? Moving on to the offense. Justin Fields, for 2 weeks in a row now, has thrown for 4 touchdowns in each game and 1 interception in 2 games. That's pretty damn good. The interception that happened was not a very good one. It was a game-ending interception, not a very good one. But you cannot ignore what Justin Fields has done the past 2 weeks, okay? 300 yards against the Broncos, 282 yards against the Commanders, with DJ Moore getting 230 of that. That is crazy. Oh my God, we have a number 1 wide receiver. Why haven't we thought of using him? Like, I don't know. It looks like Justin Fields is finally starting to throw with anticipation. It looks like Justin Fields is finally starting to trust his receivers. He is throwing the deep ball even though they're not open. I have been begging. I have been asking for this. Justin Fields, throw it to your receivers even if they're not open. Go have them make a play. Now, don't be throwing stupid. Like, don't be throwing a pick, an easy pick, kind of like Jordan Love. But like that 50-50 ball in the end zone to DJ Moore. That is what the fuck I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Darnell Mooney, to begin the game, you throw it to him. It was a little bit of an overthrow, but it also kind of looked like Mooney kind of slowed down a little bit. He could have kept running, and probably, honestly, that would have been a touchdown if he kept running and just caught it in stride. I don't know why he didn't do that, but that is what I'm talking about. Trust your receivers. Just like that ball to end the game to DJ Moore, you trusted him to go and get the ball, and you put it in a place where only he can go up and get it. And guess what? You finally got a game-winning touchdown. And that is what me and Bears fans have been begging about forever. Now you have to keep it up, okay? I'm going to praise you this week. All right? I'm praising you this week. But you have to keep it up. You can't go into the Vikings game at home and start playing like shit again. You can't. Please get a win at home. I'm tired of booing you. I'm tired of booing you. We don't want to boo you. Trust me. Nobody wants to boo. But when you play at home and you play, you 3 and out, and then you 3 and out, and then you 3 and out, you have to keep the momentum from these last 2 games. You can't slow down. You can't. Especially this late in the season. Because if we start 1-5, I would say the season's over. You have to get to at least 500 to keep the season alive. Or at least to 3-4, and then maybe lose a game like 3-5, whatever. But we do have some winnable games. We got the Vikings. We got the Raiders, and then I believe it's the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. And then I believe, I forgot who we play after that, but it might be the Bills. So we do have some hard games continuing, and there's some games where I'm like, yeah, we're not winning that. But we do have a lot of winnable teams, winnable games. Because this is actually one of the easiest Bears schedules in a long time, okay? We did not have a decently easy schedule last year. We didn't. I'll admit that. This year, I will literally straight up admit it. We have an easy schedule. One of the easiest we've had in a while. So we have to take advantage of that. We do. And yes, we should have gotten some wins before last week. But that's all in the past now. You have to worry about now. Keep the momentum. Luke Getsy, keep calling the plays like you have been doing the last 2 weeks, because our offense actually looks like a real NFL offense. It sucks because Khalil Herbert was just put on IR. Roshan Johnson is going to be out, I believe, for this game with a concussion. But we have Deontay Foreman. That is some good running back depth, who had almost 1,000 yards last year after he took over for Christian McCaffrey in Carolina. So I'm excited to see what he does. And plus, I put him on my fantasy because, why not? He's going to be running back number 1. And then we re-signed Darrington Evans to the active roster because we're down 3 running backs. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.